Hello fight fans, welcome to VC World guys. Yeah. If you're new to the channel, like I always say, please click the like and subscribe button right now, man. So Joseph Parker has given his thoughts on the Ruiz Joshua bout, man, saying that both of those guys are strong guys. Both of those guys have some decent power, but he said Joshua is a deadly monster and Joshua has a very underrated boxing skills. He can keep you on the bay, he can do some things that you didn't even understand or expect him to do, man. Let's take a listen to what Joseph Parker had to say about the Unified Heavyweight King of the Universe before we proceed.
Sorry. You've obviously shared the ring with Dillian Whyte in the fight. You've been around Tyson Fury in the gym. Those two have been linked with a potential fight. I know Tyson come out a couple of days ago and said the fight's not going to happen. Just your thoughts, if that fight were indeed to take place, who would you give the edge to?
You know, I respect and like both fighters. But for me, I think Fury's one of those fighters who's gifted in the way that he can dance around and outbox you, and you know, with his reach and height. I think he might, you know, he'll take that out if the fight ever happened.
Now, as we mentioned earlier on in the interview, you are here not only to announce your deal with Matchroom, but also to watch the Unified Heavyweight Champion, your ex-opponent Anthony Joshua, face another ex-opponent of yours in Andy Ruiz, who you picked the title up against. Just your thoughts on that fight?
I think it'll be a great fight. I think it's an exciting fight. You know, the styles will make a good fight. You know, Ruiz coming in, you know, he takes a punch to give a punch, combinations, hand speed. But then Joshua ultimately, I think, will keep him at bay with his reach, and I think he just has to you know, box him and break him down, and I think eventually he might be able to stop him. But you know, Ruiz, again, never been stopped, never been dropped, so it's a fight that I think the fans want to see.
A lot of people have been criticising Andy Ruiz. I think it's fair to say he's not the most pleasing on the eye, by his own admission. Doesn't obviously mean he can't fight. You've been in there, you know him better than anybody. Are people underestimating him going into this fight?
I think there's a lot of people, you know, are underestimating because of his size and because of his physique. But I mean, you know, I didn't underestimate him because I knew what he was going to bring when I fought him. So I know he's going to be tough. You know, he's got the whole of Mexico behind him. He's going to come with a lot of heart. But it's a tough challenge fighting someone like Joshua who's progressing each time, and also, you know, he's faced, you know, many different styles. So I think the style, when, you know, he's brought good people into camp for sparring, so it's just going to be an exciting fight.
Now, you famously, when you fought Anthony Joshua, I think it's fair to say you weren't really allowed to work on the inside. Neither fighter was allowed to work on the inside. Do you see that as being crucial for Andy Ruiz in this fight, being able to work on the inside? I know you're different fighters, but would you say that that's pivotal for him?
I think it's the only fight that Andy Ruiz can fight. I think he can't, you know, he can't box and move, you know, because of the sort of reach disadvantage that he has. And so I think he has to get in close, and that's the only way he's able to throw his combinations and his punches, is to get in close and you know, be on his chest.
How would you compare the two, power-wise, speed-wise? What does each one do well? What does each one not particularly do well?
I think they both have great power, you know, but if you take Ruiz's last fight, for example, he didn't, you know, he wasn't able to drop Demachenko, which, but he's, you know, he's lost a lot of weight and he's got a lot of speed, but he caught him flush many times. Wasn't able to drop him maybe, but I think Demachenko ultimately, you know, quit on the stool. I think Joshua, you know, with all his fights, he's knocked everyone out. I think with our style that we brought in the movement, he wasn't able to catch us, which is the reason why we didn't get dropped or knocked out.
Now, obviously, you didn't get dropped in the Anthony Joshua fight. You did get dropped by Dillian Whyte. Once legally, the other one, I'll leave that to you.
Where you've heard the former WBO champion, you know, giving his thoughts on the bout, saying that he didn't get dropped against Joshua because Joshua wasn't able to catch him. You know what I mean? I actually think that the ref kind of destroyed that bout. I mean, there should have been some bombs thrown there. And Joshua, on the other hand, wanted to box. I mean, he wanted to show the world that, listen, I can keep you on the bay. I can win fights with just my jab alone. And you know, people didn't actually believe Joshua can box. They thought he was just a brawler. but Joshua proved everyone wrong the night he fought Joseph Parker. That's why Joseph Parker didn't actually, started beating his hands on his chest after the bout went to distance, because he knew what really went on, man. He knew the unified heavyweight king of the universe. He's a deadly monster. He knew that if he had caught him, it would have been a different case. But Joseph Parker is also a very intelligent fighter. A guy was being in there with the likes of Carlos Takam, the likes of Andrew Ruiz Jr. He's been in different worlds, man. And just to look at this guy and think that this guy is 27 years old is just amazing. Still young, still fresh, still ready to do damage. Still a very nice guy. Looking at his record right now, you can tell that Parker has not fought, this year. Since the beginning of this year, he hasn't fought anyone, man. Last year he had a very good KO fight against Elizabeth Flores, man. So to kind of redeem himself. But right now he's already moving forward. This time we're heading on Metro Boxing, DAZN, and of course Sky Sports, man. So that's interesting. I cannot wait for this bout. The unified heavyweight king of the universe is going to actually make a lot of people understand that he's a deadly monster. He's not someone to be toyed with. He's not someone you should underestimate, because people look at Joshua and say, he's overrated. Until you step in the ring with Anthony Joshua, you don't know what you're going to expect. And all of you guys can come here and talk about Deontay Wilder. We know he has that right hand. But the thing is that Deontay Wilder is not a good boxer. The thing is that Wilder has never stepped in with a man as monstrous, with a man as devastating, with a man as hungry, like the unified heavyweight king of the whole goddamn universe, guys. Leave your thoughts below. Share the video. Please like the video, and of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Stay blessed, stay hungry, stay humble, man. Cheers.